Technology to prevent natural gas explosions. That's our Techstination. Joining us from New Cosmos, USA is Chief Operating Officer Ron Lazarus. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Fred. It's nice to meet you, and thank you for inviting me.
A pleasure. So give us some background to begin with before we get into this new product, a little bit about New Cosmos, USA.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. And actually, the history started over 60 years ago. The company was founded as New Cosmos Electric in Japan, and it was started as a result of a need for gas protection or protection from gas explosions. In Japan, primarily gas is used for cooking and for heating. And there was a number of gas explosions, which was resulting in several people dying every year and multiple people being injured. So the founders of New Cosmos Electric actually developed the first gas alarm, residential gas alarm in the world. And that was in 1964. And going back to like even 1980, there were still about 50 people a year dying as a result of gas explosions. So the Japanese government actually mandated that gas alarms be installed in every residence. And as a result, the amount of people dying from gas explosions decreased every year since, as a result of the number of gas alarms being increased in each home. And for the past 3 years, there actually has been 0 deaths as a result of gas explosions in Japan. And unfortunately, here in the US, we're experiencing a similar problem. And primarily due to the aging infrastructure of the gas lines and gas pipes in our country. And believe it or not, the gas pipes in our country and gas lines have been the same pipes that were installed mostly even 100 years ago. So many of them are starting to break down, to crack. So you're seeing an increased number of gas explosions. And believe it or not, there's about a gas explosion every 2 days in this country. And in New York City, there was several gas explosions where apartment buildings, actually the whole buildings collapsed, killing several people, injuring many. And as a result, the gas utility, which is Con Edison of New York, they had decided to install gas alarms in every apartment of their customers' apartments. And this started a few years ago. So as a result, New Cosmos Electric actually founded New Cosmos USA in 2018. And we developed the brand of DeNova Detect. And that's what we've been selling now through, in the US. And in the last few years, Con Edison has installed approximately, 220,000 of these of our DeNova Detect alarms, and have been able to detect gas leaks early and preventing any future gas explosions.
Very interesting. So fast forward to today at the Consumer Electronics Show. You're announcing, I guess, a new generation of DeNova Detect, or what is it that you're coming out with, and how is it different?
Well, it's a great question, and we're actually going to be introducing 2 new product lines at the CES show. One is we developed a gas alarm in conjunction with Amazon Sidewalk, and we're the first gas alarm, residential gas alarm, to actually work on the Amazon Sidewalk network. And that will be introduced at the show. And then we're also introducing a second product line, which is also consumer related. And it will be a battery powered 10-year product. And it'll also be wireless, so that if someone is not home, they can receive a notification on the DeNova Connect phone app.
So these are connected to the internet, and one you said is using Amazon Sidewalk. What?
Yeah. And if I could just
Sure.
a couple of things to that. The one is connected to the Amazon Sidewalk, but the other is not connected to Wi-Fi. It's actually through cellular. And we're using the LoRaWAN network between the devices. But it'll be cellular at no additional cost to the consumer. and they'll receive, like I said, a notification if an alert is sent out or required.
And the reason you would do that is because if there's a power outage or something happens, you can remain connected.
That's correct. And also Wi-Fi tends to be or require more battery or use up more battery consumption. So this way, with the LoRa, it's a low power, long range, low power wireless network. And it's similar to what Sidewalk is using for their network as well.
And does it need to be recharged or have a battery replaced, or?
No, all our products are battery powered, and depending on the product, the battery will last either 7 to 10 years and never has to be
even
replaced.
with a cellular connection?
Even with the cellular connection, because it's not utilizing cellular obviously the whole time. It's basically if someone were to test the alarm or if there's an alarm notification.
Interesting. So these will be coming to the market in the coming months, or when will people be able to buy them?
It will be available. Most of them our products will be available either the second or third quarter of next year.
When many people think of natural gas detectors, they're thinking of safety, that did they not shut the stove down completely, things like that. Is there gas on? Are these going to detect things like that as well, besides pipe leaks or cracks?
Yes, it will. If, let's say, the burner's on long enough and it reaches but near explosive limit, and obviously even before that, our alarms will detect gas leaks. That's what is referred to as 10% LEL, which is the lower explosion limit. And most other products on the market respond at about 20 to 25% LEL. So our products actually provide about 11 minutes more escape time than compared to some of those other products. But to answer your question, yes, if that gas pilot is left on, it will definitely detect, a leak like that.
What's the significance, explain to folks, in working with Amazon Sidewalk? What does that bring into the picture?
Well, it helps get the product out to more people. Anyone that has either a Ring product or an Echo or a Dot, our product is compatible with that and will work through that same Sidewalk network. So that's the benefit of, Amazon is obviously throughout the country, throughout the world, Sidewalk, and it's expanding significantly, and our products will work on that network.
And that would do what for people in terms of the alerts? Is it going to alert my neighbor that I have a gas leak, or what is it going to do?
It does have that capability. It can notify multiple people. So, obviously, especially if someone's not home, they'll get an alert on their cell phone, but they can also send it to multiple people, whether it be a neighbor or family, or friend.
And you mentioned one or two things already, but what advantages do you feel you have over the competition in the market for natural gas detectors?
Yeah, well, there's several, and maybe one of the most important and impressive ones is the fact that we have the only battery-powered long life gas alarm in the market. Any other product you see in the market today is a plug-in alarm. And the reason is because they're using antiquated technology and it requires a lot of battery or power consumption. So they can't power their alarms via battery. We developed a new sensing technology called MEMS sensing, micro electromechanical sensor or sensing sensor. And it requires very low power. And the other advantage is the plug-in type is typically plugged into an outlet near the floor. And what most people don't realize is that natural gas is lighter than air and will rise to the ceiling. So our battery-powered alarms can be mounted closer to the ceiling, which is where the NFPA, National Fire Protection Association, actually recommends the alarm to be mounted within 12 inches from the ceiling. So if these other alarms are mounted near the floor, obviously it may take longer, or most likely will take longer for the gas to ever reach that alarm. And the other is that ours do not require any electrical power, so it's less costly, and no replacement batteries. Plug-in units usually have a battery that has to be replaced every year. Our battery will last the life of the service life of the product.
What can you tell us about, you mentioned availability later in the year. What can you tell us about pricing?
Well, we'd rather not mention pricing right now, but I will tell you that we will have the lowest cost or true cost of ownership of the product. In other words, let's say our product might cost a little more initial cost, but because there's no replacement batteries and there's no electricity use, overall, over the lifespan of that product, between the 7 or 10 years, it'll wind up being less costly than a plug-in type of alarm that uses electricity and has to have batteries replaced every year.
And might some utilities also be pitching in here to get these out in the market?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we have had some already. I mentioned Con Edison earlier, a company in upstate New York, RG&E, Rochester Gas and Electric. They've been providing gas alarms to their community as well. We've worked with several other gas utilities throughout the U.S.
Terrific. For more information, where can people go?
People can go to our website, and it's www.DeNovaDetect.com. And there's a lot of information on our company and on our product.
And it's DENOVA Detect.com. Ron Lazarus, thank you for spending time with us.
All right. Well, thank you, friend. I appreciate it.